Today is 616 day that I'm here to share lessons I learn, and I'm learning. I hope this also supports your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today I was thinking what kind of lesson I'd love to share, and I was thinking for some reason about why some people succeed more than others. Why some people do not succeed. And I learned a lot of times people want to learn everything. They want to know every single piece of information. And that, of course, leads to destruction. Now, there's a lot of times people say that C-level students or people who are getting C in their school are always business owners, and they hire A and B students. And why is that? Why people believe that people who do not perform very well in school are very good business owners? And there is some advantages, of course. That is not that every single time that's what happens, but there is some reason why sometimes C-level students are outperforming A and B students. And today I will share why those C-level students are outperforming A and B. So that means it's not that C is better than A or B. It's just some aspects of personality and some skills, soft skills, that will allow them to outperform a lot of times A and B. So let's look into what I gathered so far. Because a lot of times when you think about business and success, we need to understand that we need to learn to focus on things that really matters. That means that C-level students, a lot of times, they are not able to handle everything, like in education. So what do? They focus on things that really matters, and they need to manage their time better because they know that they are not able to learn as fast as other students. So they need to think, okay, where am I able to allocate my time? So now because they are not able to learn as fast as A or B students, they need to be in control of their time even more. And because of that, they learn the skill of time management faster. Because a lot of times A and B students, they are able to do great things and might quite fast and procrastinate. And they think that they need all information. Well, student C is that I learn one thing and they take advantage of that one thing. So that means that they learn just a little bit and they squeeze all the things from that one thing that they know. While students A and students B, who are able to learn a lot of things, now they are looking for every single piece of information. But what happens when you gather information? You're going with a bucket and you're looking everywhere, looking for where to put that other extra information in your bucket. So while you putting all the information in the bucket, you're not able to use anything what you gathered. You're not able to eat, you're not able to take action. You just gather information. While students see what they do, they gather one thing, they put something in a basket, and now they're going and execute. They are always trying to squeeze everything what they learned from so far. Because a lot of times what I found that, including myself, I used to do that quite often. I used to ask the same question 5 people. Now, what happens when you ask the same question for 5 people? Now, it could be that those 5 people say total different things. So what you will do now? You will start thinking, should I do like what he said? Should I do what he said? Or should I do what this one said? And now people get in procrastination mode because they don't know what to take and what step to take because one of those 5 people said total different things. So what they found is best is really take one person and really pursue their advice. But of course, they need to be very credible and achieve what you want to achieve. Because what they found is a lot of times mentors, what do they not like is when a person comes and asks, could you give me advice? Now, after a week, they come back, could you give me advice? Now, and the mentor asks, did you execute it on my last advice? A lot of times, people who are students A and B, because they gather information, they do not execute on the advice. So why mentors are supposed to give you advices if you do not execute and you just put in your shelf only for the beauty? No, if when you get the advice, execute. You are in this place because your thoughts, how you think, didn't allow you to achieve the thing that you want. So when you know someone who achieved more than you, it's the best to take advice and not question it, because people question, I don't think it will work. how do you know that it will not work? Again, I don't butcher it because I have done that in my past, and I think it's very hard sometimes to really, because our brains are start to think, okay, it will work for me or not. We need to execute and try and really see how it works. And when we execute and try the things, then we're able to say it worked, not work, and then of course able to improve and focus and pivot things. But first we need to execute, and then when you execute on advice, then go back and say that this is what you execute, what kind of other advice you can give, what kind of other advice you can give. Because people go back to the same mentors and ask for more and more and more information, even though that they do not execute, they don't take action, and they just want to more information. And that's why I love the saying is they are ask holes, because they ask and all those advice are going into a hole. So this is assholes. Now, why students are outperforming A and B's? Because a lot of times I see students focus on one thing at a time. They do not able to focus on multiple things at a time. And so, okay, I better focus on one thing at a time. And when you focus on one thing at a time, a lot of times you focus much better and you're able to achieve much better results. I said that when you have 100% energy and you allocate that 100% energy in one thing, most likely you will outperform when someone has 100% energy and focus on five things. Of course, you need to delegate that 100% to 20, 20, 20, 20. And of course, you will not be able to perform as someone who puts on one thing 100%. Now, why see students outperform A and B is a lot of times because of risk tolerance, and at the same time resilience and persistence. Because a lot of times people who are C-level students, they are getting rejection in school after rejection. They don't get the results. They are seeing other people succeed, but they do not succeed in education. And now because they failed and failed and failed and failed in education, they have built resilience and they are much more persistent and going after their goals, because they know that they are able to fail. Now people who are A students, straight A students, now everything in school goes perfectly. Now when they go outside and business is all about mistakes and learn from mistakes, and now because they didn't make mistakes in school, for them it could be very hard to pursue business where they constantly making mistakes. While C students, they made mistakes every single day, every single exam, every single paper, they've made mistakes. And they're used to that. And they know that's the life is. Well, straight A students, they didn't learn it yet, and for them it's sometimes a little bit harder to overcome that. Again, this is every rule has exception. You can say like that is not me, but I said every rule has exceptions. But at the end, I truly believe that C-level students has much more advantage in that because they learn how to handle mistakes and how to handle rejection. Now, a lot of times people who are C-level students, they are C-level students not because they are not smart. They most of the time is very, very smart, but not in the things that other students are smart. For example, one person could be smart in math. Some could be smart in creativity, but of course we don't measure. Some person could be person who's able to think outside of the box and see things that people do not see and able to see things before other people see. So of course in school no one is measuring those kind of things, and sometimes those students are C-level students even though that no one recognizes their creativity, their ability to risk and find things that other people do not see and be more innovative, because no one's measuring your innovation in school. So a lot of times people need to look into those people, why they're C-level students, because a lot of times no one encourages their way of thinking outside the box. That's why when they think outside of the box, they create a business and they hire A and B students to do the work for them, because now they know that someone will do a great job without mistakes. I think that there's more things that we need to think about students and C-level students, A students, B students. But what I think that's about students and about business owners and employees is that a lot of time 10 of 10 employee, the best employee possible, could be making, let's say, a couple $100,000 a year, and he's like top level employee. Now, of course, there is more than that who make it, but we are not speaking about exceptions at the moment. Now, when looking to average business owner, like it's not a good business owner, it probably will be fifth 5 from 10. So that means 10 of 10 employee and 5 of 10 business owner. Most likely 5 of 10 business owner will make more money, will have more time for himself, will have more growth, and just probably have more fulfilled life. Of course, I said this is just a base, a very generalized idea, because for me personally, I truly believe that living a business owner's lifestyle is connects with me more because I love challenges. I love to do things that's outside the box. I love something that is meaningful and makes a difference, and I'm working for myself. So that's why I always believe that even average business owners will live a more fulfilled life than a person who could be 10 of 10 employee. Now, again, if you are happy, really happy about what you do and the lifestyle you have, I'm super happy for you. But I know that there's a lot of people who working their job, they hate their job, they go to work, but they are not willing to sacrifice their comfort for trying to create something for themselves. So if you're one of those, sometimes you need to start something small. Maybe you can join a charity and run the charity because there will be easy entry to work some kind of leadership work. But at the same time, you need to find someone who could really give you advice. But the main idea of today is that it doesn't matter you're A student, B student, or C student. But if you learn the things that really helps to succeed, you will be able to succeed. You just always ask that success leaves clues. Let's look what kind of success, what kind of clues they have. And I share that the success, if you want to be successful, you need to take risks, no gain. You need to be okay with be persistent and resilient. You need to learn how to focus on things that really matters. Focus on things that you really want to focus 100% of your energy. Of course, it's not that easy, but when you start focus on that, building yourself slowly, you're able to achieve much more. I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.